Ho hee ho, we are back. That's not French, by the way. Ho hee ho, we are back in the Pentland Hills. Fantastic. This is a scene of the crime from yesterday. Did some hill sprints here. 6 for 45 seconds to be precise. But enough of that. Another adventure day. I'm up at a half marathon distance with elevation again, so happy days. What a day for it. So, I was just about to say how lucky I feel to be so close to the Pentland. And then I spotted people in the distance. I was like, oh, there's people doing something, I'll wait and then record. Turned out it was 4 women. I don't know what they were doing, but I don't know if they've noticed me or anything, but started getting closer, and then one of them ends up exclaiming, I need a poo. I don't know, again, if they've noticed, done it on purpose, but without hesitation, it's just like, oh, I'm happy for you. And just kept on going. I then couldn't stop laughing. I could just hear them cackling in the background. I really hope that was just a genuine thing because it was so funny. But anyways, point being, very happy to be so close to the Pentland. Great choice, Douglas. Great choice. It is just fantastic what is right on the doorstep. And something I keep taking for granted is that there's people who have commented on previous videos saying about, like, one of their goals is to actually be able to run or be in the Pentland Hills. It's like, I want to say why, I get why, but you just think there's so many cool places out there, and you think because you're from a certain place, you've seen it all, it's like, well, this is boring, this is crap. But some people come from all over the world to Edinburgh to see what it has to offer, and it's nice, man, it's nice. Never ever gets old, that view. Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable. So something else I've been thinking about recently and being grateful for is at work I listen to a lot of music. And there's certain euphoric build-ups that really tickle my pickle. And just being able to experience that, be in a workplace and listen to music, have that kind of experience, just, for me it's amazing. I know a lot of people get that. I do. And it's something that I want to do for a very, very long time. So keeping fit and active is going to let me keep on doing the physical job that I do and keep on just listening to whatever I want to listen to. It's just, there's so many little things like that. There's going to come a time when you might not have the opportunity to do these kind of things. So cherish them. Cherish them, cherish them, cherish them. Right, I'm continually getting sidetracked from what I even wanted to talk about with this video. Maybe it's just me, but if you're out and about, do you ever notice how people smell and how they breathe? Now, I realise it sounds very sus, but there's some people who just smell really nice. I don't know. It's not like I'm going up and just sticking my head under their armpit. That would be weird, but yeah, there's just some people who just smell nice when you're passing them. It's like, that's nice. Other thing, there's an old friend ended up going on about how people breathe, but they meant it in like a sexual way. And I never ever thought about it, never noticed it. But now, like, being near the canal, I have the opportunity to listen to a lot of people breathe. This sounds so weird, but there's some people who breathe really nicely. Just, if you're listening to this, try and pay attention for it one time. When you hear a good breath, you'll be like, I get it now. Or either that, you'll be like, lock him up, please. Anyways, I'll get to the point I wanted to make at some point, maybe. Never really been too into fishing, but I thought of being out on that glassy looking reservoir, sitting in a boat just chilling. Wowee. Don't know what else to say, so I'll say wowee. Right, so the point I actually wanted to make, the question I wanted to ask you is, what is the worst advice that you've ever taken? And what did you learn from it? I've asked this question, and the answers I got are somewhat along the lines of, I've not listened to advice. That's just putting it bluntly and shortening it. I haven't listened to advice. People maybe wish they had, but what interests me is you've become the person you are because of the choices that you've made. Now, hoping that you're now happy with the person that you've become or becoming, if you hadn't ignored advice, would you have become the person that you are? Now, you could argue that maybe you'd be a better person. Maybe you'd be a worse person, but how could you be a worse person if you've just taken good advice? Maybe you just wouldn't know why it's good advice and just be going through the motions. And by taking bad advice, you've then got an understanding of what good advice actually is. So, for me, I would say that I want to say I've not really had a lot of good advice, but I know that that is a lie. I've had plenty of good advice, but just chose not to listen to it, apparently. At the time it wasn't a conscious choice, but I definitely made the choice not to listen. A lot of that comes down to money and being frivolous with spending, but really I've had a great life so far. And well, long may it continue, but if I was to change that, would I have more money saved? Would I maybe have, like, I don't know, big fancy house, big fancy car? What would any of that really mean? Because I wouldn't have had the experience that I've had, etc. Now, I don't want to put down good or bad advice to like a monetary value and just put it in a financial sense, but that's just, for me, what it's ended up coming down to. I think learning a lot. Never mind. I would like you to answer the question. I'm keen to hear what you have to say on it. Shut up. Just had a thought on the worst advice taken thing is, if you don't feel like you've taken bad advice, there's a certain element of ego to that where you think you know better, and then because it worked out for you, you've assumed that that's bad advice. If you were to have taken that bad advice, who knows what the results could have been from that, and then maybe that would have helped you understand why the decision that you were originally going to make was the right one anyway. But if you just keep on taking your own advice and don't listen to other advice, whether it's good or bad, are you stopping yourself from, I mean, in my opinion, you are stopping yourself from learning. And I think it's important to take other people's advice, regardless of how long they've been doing something for, or just whatever and whoever it is. I think it's important to listen to other people's advice and try it out sometimes for yourself. It might work for you, you don't know because you've not tried it. Even if it seems stupid, a waste of time, whatever, you don't know unless you've tried. And in that same line of thinking, you don't know until you've tried, I want to switch it to adventure and going and seeing places. Is what's over there, you don't know until you've gone. Maybe it's a leprechaun with a pot of cheese. You don't know until you go round that corner. Might be the best view you've ever seen. Might be a sheep taking a shite. Who knows? Might be spectacular either way. Maybe it's got to explode. That doesn't matter. Point being, try new things. Might be the best thing you've ever done. Don't know if you heard me tripping there, but good cameraman work, Douglas.